Welcome to the E-commerce Profits Podcast, where we feature top founders and experts in the e-commerce industry and take an in-depth look at the struggles and successes in growing e-commerce brands profitably.
What's good, people? Josh Chin here. I'm the host of the E-commerce Profits Podcast, where we feature top experts and entrepreneurs in the e-commerce industry, and we go behind the scenes of the struggles and successes in growing a brand. Today's episode is brought to you by Chronos.agency. If you run a direct-to-consumer e-commerce brand that is ready to scale and to achieve the next level of profits that you deserve and to double your customer lifetime value through retention, email, and SMS marketing, Chronos is your company. We've helped hundreds of brands such as Truly Beauty, Elias Skin, The Udi, Dr. Living Good, and many more scale profits with email and SMS and amongst other services while getting an average of 3,500% ROI through our efforts. The next step is to email us at sales@chronos.agency or go to chronos.agency to learn more. All right, with that out of the way, today's guest is a dear friend of mine. I know we haven't spoken a ton, but when we do speak, we hit it off super well. His name is Sam Olawale. Big Sam. Big Sam's in the house. Now, Sam is someone that I truly admire and respect for a number of reasons. Number one, he's done incredibly well with his business while maintaining a level of humility and respect that not many people can really claim to have. Number two, he's built his company around values and systems and has truly built an incredible world-class team that I admire and I hope to be able to build one day, hopefully very soon. Now, Sam's originally from the UK. He's currently based in between Dubai and Romania. And he is a multi-8-figure e-commerce entrepreneur. He'll be doing 9 figures in the next 3 to 4 years. He's an untraditional entrepreneur. He's done a number of things and building his empire. And I believe that we just spoke about this. I believe that Sam will break the $1 billion mark in the next 6 to 8 years or so. Along the trajectory. Now, we won't be talking too much about the specific brand that he owns in e-commerce, just because of certain trademark protection processes that he's undergoing at the moment. But it is an incredible furniture brand that will blow your mind, and he is one of the most smartest, talented and hardworking individuals that I've come across in e-commerce. Sam, welcome to the show. That was a super long intro. Did not mean that to happen.
No, thank you.
That was it. Let's begin, man. Tell us your story. What brought you into e-commerce, and how do you end up in where you are today, and also in Romania?
Yeah, it's a great question. Yeah. Romania. It all kind of ties together because. Basically, yeah, like you said, I live now between Romania and Dubai. But when I left Dubai like 6 years ago, everything was different. I was flat broke. I lost all my money in Dubai. It's a long story, so I'll keep it short. So sure. Basically, I'd lost all my money in Dubai, and my girlfriend at the time, who is now basically my wife, we got 2 kids, and I was like, look, I'm miserable. I've got an idea for a business. She was working a great job. She was earning like 150 G's a year and all this stuff. So she had a really good job, all tax-free. So she was doing really, really well. And I was like, look, I've got this idea for a business. Quit your job, come with me, and I'll make it work. And
whoa.
Thankfully, yeah. And she said yes. This was like 6 years ago. Okay. Yeah. And she was earning like, she was probably taking home like 200 G's a year after like bonuses and all this stuff. She was doing really, really well.
And girlfriend at the point in time, no kids.
Yeah. Okay. And no kids or nothing. And I said, look, I've got this idea. But she believed in me more than I believed in me at the time. So we packed up shop, moved into my parents' house and her parents' house between London and Romania to spend more time with them while we figured out this business. And for the first 1.5 to 2 years, we launched an online business, basically selling information, right? But not like typical how to get rich stuff. It was basically teaching people how to acquire a certain job. So we built that platform. We did well, made 6 figures in those, made about 150 G's in those 2 years. Most of it came towards the back end of those 2 years, because obviously for the first year it was a shit show, just figuring it out and everything. Then in the second year we really took off. And that's when I was like, okay, Okay, I can do this. So after that, then we decided to go into the usual stuff, into e-commerce heavily, drop shipping, Amazon, print on demand, you name it, we did it. And I did all of that for about another 8 months, right?
Right.
And it was going well. It wasn't like it was going bad. It was going well, but something didn't sit right with me. I knew this wasn't going to get me to where I want to be. And so one thing that helped me change my life in that 2 years from being flat broke to having some modicum of success is I listened to a lot of audiobooks, a lot. Like I at least listen to 3 books a week, like for the last like 5-6 years. I consume it like incessantly. And there was a great book I read called How to Get Rich by Felix Dennis. Such a great book. And it just really breaks down what being rich and wealthy actually is. And what I did was realize to myself, okay, let's work backwards rather than trying to work forwards and, okay, I need to do this, make some money here. No. Let's work backwards. Where do you want to be? And once I realized where I wanted to be, I realized everything I was doing needed to stop. Drop shipping needed to stop. Print on demand needed to stop. We were selling stuff and everything needed to stop.
Right.
And then my aim was, okay, if I want to build a company that does billions of dollars in revenue, the number one thing I need to do is own the product. If you don't own your product, you have absolutely zero chance. Absolutely. Obviously, there's a few out there, but it's an infinitesimal chance that you will ever reach lofty heights of wealth if you don't own your own means of production. So once I realized that, I've spent the last 4 years building an elite team of designers, engineers, marketers, the whole shebang, the whole team on innovating products from, and you obviously, you know our product, you know our furniture brand and the innovation we have there. It's crazy. And so, so I really focused there, and now the fruits of the labor are paying off, and that we're really on a brilliant trajectory now. And everything, it's a slow burn though. Like I must admit to people, this isn't something for the biggest trait you need to achieve what we've done is patience. It takes time to develop products. It takes time to get certifications. It takes time to optimize the manufacturing. It takes so much. It's a completely different mindset of entrepreneur. And it's the thing that, especially now, I advocate a lot for. This is why I've got the YouTube channel, and I know we'll talk about this later. There's a big chasm. There's a big problem in our world, Josh. A huge problem in our world. I'll tell you what it is. It's that there's too much emphasis on hustle culture and on entrepreneurship, and not enough emphasis on being a top CEO and building a business. They are two complete opposite ends of the spectrum. They have huge commonalities, but in our industry, bridging the gap from being an entrepreneur and hustling your way there to make money versus being a CEO, right, and having a brilliant business, that's where we think we can help many other people as well. I know we'll talk about this later, and I'm not making any money selling courses, it's not my thing, but we do believe that it can help other people, because that's the thing that helped me break through, realizing that there's a big difference between these two things.
I love that. The book you mentioned, How to Get Rich, Felix Dennis. I happen to have that book on my bookshelf, and I've been meaning to get into that. So for people listening, Felix Dennis is a guy from the UK who, and he created under his company Dennis Publishing a magazine called Maxim. I think that's his most probably the most well-known company / product that he's created. Maxim is a men's lifestyle magazine, and a global brand, I would say. Pretty popular out here in Southeast Asia as well. And he wrote this book on how to get rich, and it's not a typical self-help type book. It's well written. It's explicit. It's
yes.
Explicit is probably the best way to describe it, and it's transparent. It's exactly what you need to know about what it takes to do what he's done and what he has done to achieve what he has, which is really unique. So it's not written by a self-help guru. It's someone who's been there, done that, and I think it's really unique in that way.
It's a brilliant book, and it really just, like you said, it's raw. It's a raw book, filled with poetry as well. So it's a raw and beautiful book at the same time. But it just tells people the truth of it, man. It just gives you the truth. Like, everyone has all these lofty aspirations. But I was talking to someone the other day about this. And one of the things I think separates the people who make money versus the people who end up being ridiculously wealthy, again, two very different things. In this day and age, especially with online and e-commerce and digital marketing, anyone can make money. You can make, a few $1,000,000, right? But if you want to be truly, truly wealthy, and he gives you the categories of what wealth is in the book, and we're talking, tens of millions, hundreds of millions. If you want to get to that level, the real difference is sophistry, sophistication, because we're all eating from the same trough, right? Of do this, do this. Everyone knows what to do, right? But what's the difference between an Elon Musk or a random dude, in the same place, California, who has a business making $1 or $2 or $3 million a year? What's the difference? The difference is sophistication. It's not about intelligence. It's not about IQ. It's about knowing how to take fundamentally simple concepts, but apply them in sophisticated ways to complex ideas. And that level of sophistry, I think, determines the good to the great. And there's no right or wrong for it. There's no science to it. It's an art. But yeah, that is the thing for me.
What's your threshold? Because I remember this. I was briefly browsing through the book, and this one stood out. And I just Googled the list out here again. He defines a person with £1 million and below, between 500K to £1 million in liquid assets, as someone who's comfortably well off, like comfortably wealthy. And then between 1 mil to 5 mil in liquid assets, that's what he categorizes as the lesser rich. Comfortably rich is 6 mil to 15 mil in liquid assets. Rich is 16 mil to 35 mil. And then it goes on from then on, like 100 mil plus, filthy rich, like super rich.
And note the words, Josh. Liquid assets.
Liquid assets.
Yes, not valuation, no. There's so many different words. That's why it's so funny when someone talks about 8 figures, 9 figures, 10 figures. What does that mean? Are you talking cash in the bank? Are you talking liquidity like he's talking about? Are we talking about net worth? All very different things. So yes, I completely agree. And that book was written, years ago, right? So those thresholds, especially with inflation,
probably increased. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
What's your threshold? What is, at what point would you consider yourself to be rich? I mean, at the risk of sounding like a complete prick, but
I mean, no. I mean, you know what I'm like, Josh. I'm not really someone who focuses on money like that, and
I know.
I'd do much better in like my social media climb if I was to show Lambos and my fancy trips to Dubai and all this stuff. But it's not me. I'm not a charlatan. I never will be one. So I'm not really that way. But for me, money is just a way to keep score, right? And I think my threshold would be 10 mil in the bank. You're cool. This is how I'll describe it. 0 to 1 million in the bank. Keep fucking working. You got nothing yet, right? 1 to 5 million in the bank. Keep fucking working. You got nothing yet, right? 5 to 10 million in the bank. Okay, now you can put some chump change aside so that your kids and your wife and your family will never want for anything, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and build on that, but still keep fucking working. Because once you put that chump change aside, you go back down to the other tier where you still should be fucking working. So 10 mil to 20 mil. Okay. Now you can class yourself as in relative to wealthy people, you're middle class, in my estimation. 10 million plus, you're middle class. Okay.
Jeez,
because Josh, right? Josh,
that's true.
And then, because think about it, right? If you got 10 mil in the bank, you have a certain threshold of living. Now, if you want to buy a nice place for your family to live, right? And these are I'm giving you numbers according to even myself, right? I'll be a bit more modest with these numbers. If you have 10 mil in the bank and you got a family, right? You got kids to feed, put through school, university, blah, blah. You've then got to have a house somewhere. That house you're going to live in is probably going to cost you, if you want a nice place, $2 to $3 million. If you want to live in Dubai, let's say, you're going to need at least $2 to $3 million for a normal place. That's
Easily,
a normal place in Dubai. That's not a fancy place in Dubai. So if you want to live, like you have 10 million in the bank, the average person is like, geez, you're a baller. In Dubai, you ain't shit. You want a property? Okay, what's your budget? 2-3 million. Okay, boss, let's show you a few things. No one's going to be impressed by this number. So even at 10 million, you buy a house in Dubai, 2-3 million. Okay, sure. That leaves you 7 million. You buy a few nice cars. You got maybe 5 million left. You invest in a few properties. How much money do you have left? You still need to work. You're not going to retire. The house needs maintenance. You want to go on holidays. So from my point of view, 10 million above, if I'm going to be really non-arseholey about it, let's say 5 million above, 5 to 20 million, you're middle class compared to the rich. 20 to 50 million, okay, now you've got some dough, right? And when you're pushing over 50 million, you're balling a little bit now. 100 million, okay, you're in the mega rich. So that's kind of my way of looking at that, ladder, so to speak.
That makes sense. Now, quick segue. You spoke about going from hustle culture, which is essential, by the way, not shitting on hustle culture. I mean, we all started hustling.
Correct.
To evolving, right? I think the keyword here is evolution into becoming a CEO or someone who's in the driver's seat and not necessarily operating on the car. You talked about a platform that you launched with a bunch of training systems and videos for exactly this purpose, and you launched it for free. You're releasing that for free for people to access, and it's effectively a course. Like, it's a full-blown course for systemizing.
It's like 50 of them. Yeah.
What, 50 like modules of videos?
50 courses, 50 individual courses. So we have everything from setting OKRs, building performance teams, customer research and narratives, you name it, anything for digital marketing, for scaling e-commerce businesses, agencies, anything for digital marketing or e-commerce, we have it there. Media buying, content creation, everything.
Is this the same system that you're using for your team?
Yes, that's exactly what it is, Josh. So most people, when they give courses or a course, they tell you notional things and the sad thing is, this is another reason why I gave it away for free, and I'm just being honest, right? Most people, and it's a tragedy. What I'm going to tell you here, Josh, is a tragedy. It's a tragedy, right? But it's a tragedy that people only have themselves to blame, okay? Those systems, right? If you want to build a real business, build a real team, and like you said, Josh, instead of working on the car, be in the driving seat of the car, you need systems to manage your team. You need systems for them to do their business. You need systems for the team to collaborate. And then you have different pockets where systems are really, really important. If I was to advertise that and say, hey, look, come and get this for $100 a month, right? Systems to build your business, no one's going to click or buy because it's boring. It's boring. It's not sexy. It's not an ad. Hey, I'll teach you how to make 10 G's a week. People always default to the lowest common denominator. And if you tell people, here's how to make 10 G's a week with no work versus here's all the systems you need to build a real business, but you're going to have to work, everyone's going to go for the slimming pill. No one wants to actually do the push-ups in the gym, which is what I'm giving people. I'm giving you this is the workout you need and everything you need, the systems to grow your business. I don't want that. I want the pill. But the pill doesn't work. This is a fact. If that person selling you a course on how to make money worked, why would they sell it to you? What they would do is they would hire as many people as possible to just replicate the same thing again and again and again and again and again and again. But they don't, because they end up making more money off the grift than they do the actual business. So for us, I was like, I don't want to get into that business. Do I have the skill to do it, the charisma to do it, the chat to do it, the team to do it, and be one of these people who sells courses online? I could easily do it and make courses on how to make money. I don't ever want to do that, and I never will, because I've got a much bigger goal, which is to build, well, you know what I'm doing with my business, right? Yeah. So what I decided to do was say, hey, team, how can we add value for this, right? And it's going to help me build my personal brand, so on and so forth. How can we add value? Let's just systemize everything that we do in our team, white label it, and put it online for free. So every system on there is videos, checklists, SOPs, spreadsheets, templates, explaining how to execute core important systems that no one talks about: goal setting, OKRs, doing customer service, research, narratives, angles, content. These things that people say you should do, they're all notional. No one actually says, okay, if you want to research 20 angles for this product, rather than just going to Chat GPT and typing something and then getting some generic bullshit, you need to go deeper. If it was that easy, Hollywood would just go to Chat GPT and they'd write scripts of Hollywood stories. No. There's a formula to this stuff, and we have systems that show you how to apply these formulas to actual output that you can use into your business and your team can use. That's the most important thing. It's not for you in the driving seat. It's for you. It's for your mechanics. Put it that way. It's a great analogy you use. The systems are not just for you in the driving seat. We have systems for CEOs and leaders, yes, but most of the systems are for the mechanics working on the car.
Amen.
Yes.
What should I do to get my hands on?
Just go to DigitalSuperSystems.com with an S. Just Google it. It will come up. Follow the clicks. It's for free. 90% of the stuff there is free. We have a few things behind the paywall, but those things are like not for that's for the high level people. But for 99.9% of people, the stuff we have free, I guarantee you will find many things in there that will level up what you and your team are doing, just because no one in the world, I looked for this, Josh, no one in the world can tell me, okay, I can go on YouTube and search videos how to make OKRs, but no one can tell me how to specifically do that for e-commerce businesses, apply them, how to operate them, how to manage them, how to affect them, how to spread it between your no one has this. So we've turned it all into bullet point format. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Here's a video, here's a checklist, here's a template, here's an example. So yeah, we have everything for a bunch of different high level tools that you need to run brilliant teams. So.
I love that. Okay, I'm gonna grill you a little bit here, but you're giving all of this away for free. Stuff that you've spent years of experience and effort developing with your team, and it's not just content that's not tried and tested, it's content that you've actually put to use on the ground and built a multi 8-figure business. What's the deal? What are you trying to build out of? Obviously you're getting some contact information, but that's pretty much about it. Do you have a grand plan on how this plays into your game plan?
Well, yes, I do. So I'm sure you guys know, or everyone knows at the minute, Alex Hormozi and his model of acquisition.com, and having given away stuff for free and then investing in businesses on the back end, helping them go from here to here. So my play is a little bit like this. Remember, we spoke about this in Barcelona when we met Josh. So my play is a little bit like this, but that's further down the line. For now, what I want to do is just give away value, right? I want to hopefully be known in the space as someone who is this guy's a serious dude. Like this Sam guy, he's not someone who's a guru or trying to sell. No. This guy lives and breathes, walks the walk. There's no bravado. There's no Lambos. There's no any of these things, right? He wears nice clothes. He has nice watches given, but he's not someone actively out there trying to splurge or show how much money he has. He genuinely is building an amazing, hopefully billion-dollar brand. And he gives all this away for free. And what I'm going to do at the end of it, to be honest, is I'm probably just going to have some events where I just say, hey, if you've connected to what we do here, we have a few things behind a paywall. So, like, for example, down the line, one thing we're going to be doing, content creation, and just marvel at how my team creates content and how we do marketing, not just ads. Ads, there's so many platforms that can tell you how to do ads well. Will we have the way we do ads on there? Yes. Will it be behind a $60 a month paywall? Yes. But that's not the thing. The thing that's really going to get people inspired is the content creation. Because I always tell people, everyone focuses a lot on ads, but no one gives anywhere near as much time and attention to systems for creativity, which is where we thrive. We have systems behind product development. We have systems behind content creation. And having systems for creative endeavors is the hardest thing ever. But we've kind of cracked the formula here. So what we're going to be doing is every week, we're going to be having kind of like an ad/film/story masterclass
Right.
that me and my team get on a call, talk about why this ad is so good, why this film is so good, really go deep into it. And that stuff is also going to be behind the paywall as such. But that's for high level people. That's not, unless you're building, a brand doing millions of dollars, right, or a business doing millions of dollars, don't bother paying for anything on our platform. If you're just there trying to figure it out and make money and evolve from hustle culture to building a team business, we'll give you everything for free. But if you then want to take content creation and media buying and stuff, okay, $60 a month, I don't think it's expensive, but that's later. For now, we don't care about that. We're giving everything away for free. We want to help as many people as we can go from, like I said, entrepreneur, hustle culture, which, like you said, Josh, is necessary at the start.
Yeah.
But if you want to evolve into being the best you can be, you need to step up as the CEO and as a business owner. So yeah, this is my plan, and events, and we'll see what we do. It's open, but it's not my focus. It's just something I think is a nice thing I put into the world. And I think in the end, the universe will pay me back in kind. Let's see.
And that's the same idea and same strategy behind your YouTube videos as well, because you put in a lot of effort into these videos, and it's well produced, and it's not the type of videos that I would do on my YouTube channel. By the way, go check us out, the Chronos.agency on YouTube. Give us a subscribe. But it's not, the type of the quality of our videos are definitely way below what you've put out. So I can tell that the effort and amount of resources that you put into producing content for your brand is pretty significant. And I definitely see that. So the game plan is to build a large enough following and put enough good and value out to the world, and capture a really tiny part of that value by acquiring businesses that are a great fit for your empire and helping them grow.
That's a long-term goal, Josh. That's a long-term goal. But obviously, I'm sure I don't know if you remember when we spoke, my background is as a trader, and ultimately I'm going to end up being a VC and a fund manager. This is a fact. Like, when I get into my 50s, right? There's different phases, cycles of life, Right. I think if you want to learn a lot about business and life, study Mother Nature. Everything works in cycles. Every year there's summer, spring, winter, autumn, infinitum, right? So just like in life, there are cycles. In nature, there are cycles. There are cycles for me as well. So when I was in my 20s, I was in a certain phase, 30 a certain phase, 40 a certain phase, 50. So when I get into my late 40s, 50s, that phase of, I'm doing the foundations now, but I'll really get into it heavily then. But the other real big thing that I would say we're doing it for, Josh, the key to this world in which we live in now, sadly, it's an attention-based economy. Attention. So if you want to, so rather than trying to sell these courses, which I give for free, and instead of me screaming over here, hey, attention, put attention over here, I've got all this to come and buy from me, that's me using attention the wrong way around. What you need to do in this day and age is give it all away for free, plus make brilliant YouTube content, and then you grab all the attention. If I'm making brilliant YouTube content, which I think I've just started over in the last couple of months, I think in the next 1-2 years, I'll get really, really good at it. If I become brilliant at making content, and then I give away insane value with the systems my team uses to make all the money we're making, I think I will grab a lot of attention. And then I can figure out how I would want to turn that attention into dollars the right way. Because you know me, I'm never going to do anything to lower my standards. I'll never launch an NFT collection or any. It's not for me. For those who do it legitimately, more power to you. But that's not my thing. So let me first just focus on building my business. And then on the side, build a structure to grab attention by giving away value. And then what I do with that attention 1 or 2 years down the line, I'll see.
Beautiful. One thing I really admire about how you think about business and life is you think longer term than most entrepreneurs in our space think. With drop shippers and private label FBA folks, it's really just getting as much as you can out of your customers in the shortest amount of time possible, and then move on to the next thing. But you're thinking really long term in many measures. I'm curious where that comes from. Is that just a value or that you have, or is that a learned trait?
No, I'll tell you, Josh. It's because I was never the cool kid in school. I was always the kid who had I wasn't cool, right?
Okay.
But I had a very sharp tongue. So I was able to always take down verbally the so-called cool kids, right? So for me to find my way in life, I was never going to be the guy who's hosting the party. Everyone isn't coming to come and meet me, let's say. So for me to achieve, and it's a social status thing and it's a business thing, my way of doing it is, rather than just like now, I don't show the cars and this thing. I have no interest in doing any of that, right? Because how I win the game is by actually winning the game. I don't feel the need to show everybody, hey, I'm on the path to winning the game. No, I'm just going to screw in the background, do my own thing, and actually just win the game. And once I've won the game, okay, if the respect and attention comes, then I don't care because I've already got where I need to go. But I'm not one of these people who, and it's true, if you want to make great content these days, like Gary Vee said a while back, even though I'm not the biggest fan of his, document what you do, right? I agree with that to a certain degree, but I think a lot of people get corrupted with the attention because they don't know how to manage it, or the fact that it's fleeting, right? You're hot one day, you'll be not the next day. So I just think to myself, rather than focus on these things as I take each step, let me just fucking do the thing. And once I've done it, then everything falls at my feet. Because again, I wasn't a cool kid, right? I had to rather than tell everybody I'm cool and this, that, and the other. Sorry about that. No, I'll do that part again because that bleep.
That's
thing
cool.
was
That's
from,
fine.
Yeah,
totally cool.
Let me just close this now. So yeah, I just wasn't the cool kid.
Yeah,
that just is what it is. I was never good enough at being the cool one in the class, and for me to garner attention, I had to go and do the thing rather than process or document what I was doing at the time because I just wasn't cool enough. I'm not cool. I'm not a cool guy. I'm a geek. I listen to astrophysics. I play chess. I watch UFC and football. I don't really go out partying. I don't go out clubbing. I'm very socially.
That's
awkward.
Cool.
Yeah, I know, but I'm socially awkward. Like if I'm hanging around with people, I don't have much to say to people unless you're talking really, 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 really high level stuff. And even ordinary things like football and chess, if you're not going to be talking at a certain level about it, I've really got nothing to say. So I just sit there a bit weird and awkward. I don't gossip. I don't talk casual stuff. I don't watch TV. So it's kind of like, yeah, I'm just a bit like awkward in this way, I suppose. There's no real way around it.
I hear you. I think a lot of entrepreneurs are similar. I find myself similar in quite a number of attributes that you just mentioned, but that's the beauty of doing what we do, right? We get to shape the lives that we want, not necessarily being put in a box where you got to be working with people that you don't necessarily like and having to deal with people that you don't necessarily admire. You got to shape the life that you want. That's a cool thing about our jobs, but it obviously comes with a lot of responsibilities and a big ton of stress sometimes. Yeah. So I want to talk about your e-commerce business a little bit. How much can you share with us about your strategies in growing the brand? Because you were at my event last year at DTC Breakthrough in August in Singapore. That was an awesome event. We had 76 people in the room. It just blew my mind, blew my expectations out of the water. It was incredible. We had the average brand in the room making $24 million a year in revenue. That was the average. And we had quite a wide range from there. There were people making over 120 mil a year to people just starting out. So it's a good mix. And one of the most highly rated presentations at that event was yours. Well, I had people, even till today, referencing the presentation that you made back in August and talking about how they got to implement some of the things they've talked about. And it's been great. So what can you share? And throw me a cookie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very iconoclastic, and just going back to what I said, when I started in this game, And after the first like year and a half years of that first business, and I then moved into e-commerce properly, print on demand, drop shipping, Amazon, the usual repartee of what you do when you try and get into this business. What I decided to do when I read that book, Felix Dennis, How to Get Rich and Work Backwards from Where I Want to Be, and I realized that I had to own the means of my product. I then realized, okay, so if I've got to build my own products and be unique to me, to have a blue ocean for me to scale a brand, how the hell am I going to do this without going broke every time? Because I'm probably not going to get it right most of the time. Right? Even if you look at successful people, investors, entrepreneurs, if they have a 50% hit rate on their successes versus their losses, that's insanely good. Most people don't know. VC funds, investors, entrepreneurs, they have way low than 50% hit rate on their successes. But the difference is their successes are absolutely humongous. Look at Peter Thiel. Facebook, his success in Facebook, I think equates for like, I can't remember exactly, I'm paraphrasing, for like 60, 70, 80% of all other investments that he's ever made money from. So it's kind of like, it is literally that ratio. It's 80-20, 90-10, 95-5 in some cases. So I realized to myself, if I'm going to own my means of production, I can't just invest everything one time. So we have a strategy of developing, and this is why I built a team of designers, engineers. I'm sitting now in our two offices here where we have the engineers and designers next door doing multiple things on new products and stuff. And I realized to myself, I've got to be able to test ideas quickly and efficiently to know if they're going to sell before I really go all in. And the biggest issue when it comes to products that you make is inventory. When you have a business, there's two costs that will kill you. Cost of hiring people, cost of the product. They're the two biggest costs for any physical product business. So on that note, how can we test ideas and products really quickly? And that's when over about 2 years, we built multiple products and tested them in this pre-launch funnel. And I think, Josh, I'll probably say I feel confident to say this, one of the best pre-launch and pre-order people in the world. I don't think anyone can step to what we do, especially as we continue to grow, because we're phenomenal at it. We actually are. We know it inside out, left, right, and center. And so what we do is we prototype with my wonderful engineers and product designers who are next door. We prototype. We then run a little funnel. We call it the survey funnel. Again, we give all of this stuff on our platform, how to do this. We run a little funnel where we explain to the customer, hey, do you like this? With some, I'm really giving it watered down here. So we make some little video ads. We drive it to specific landing pages. The landing pages are built in a very certain way. And then when they sign up to it, we have a special survey, which uses a lot of neuro-linguistic programming to get them in the right mindset to then tell us three things: the price they're willing to pay for it, the message that resonates best to sell it, and which audience wants it most. Once we run our survey funnel to know these ideas, and these questions are nailed from our side, so we take assumptions and ideas into hard data, then we run our machine to launch the product full scale. And now when we launch products, we always do minimum 7 figures in like 1 or 2 months, minimum. And sometimes, on our last pre-order thing, we did like 10 million in 10 months, all with pre-orders. So, and you've seen the numbers, right? So for us, it's just a case of now we got that nailed.
Yep.
We then move the brand into what we call the second phase of maturity, where you deliver the product, you then aggressively scale it into e-commerce, and we also do B2C, which we're doing this year. And then you launch more products in exactly the same fashion underneath the same brand. But the beautiful thing is now you've got, like we have, 30-odd thousand customers who bought from us in the pre-order phase that we can just ask, hey, we want to launch this version of the product or this version of the product, or do you like these new designs or that new design, or maybe something even, and they tell us exactly what they want. So that way you prime a whole bunch of people ready to buy the next product, as well as then move it into your base business and scale it like you would normally do. So this is basically what we've done over the last, let's say, 4 years to get to this point. And we're only just getting started. We're just getting warmed up. We're just getting started. So fingers crossed.
What are some of the most exciting things you're going to be working on in 2023? I know you spoke a little bit about what you've just accomplished most recently before we hit record, but what else is coming down the line?
Nothing really, just more of the same. I think for us, the system vault is really good, and I'm really putting a lot of energy, like you can see, into my personal brand. I want to do things very differently compared to other people in the e-commerce, make money, like, digital marketing space that makes content. Yeah. I'm not coming across the same way. I'm not putting Lambos in my banners. I'm not, doing any of that stuff. I'm talking to people about being higher level, and hopefully I can inspire more people to start looking beyond the glass ceiling of making money, right? Because if you look beyond that and you build real businesses with real people and you do things the right way, the money will come. So that's one thing I'm very excited about. Just getting this message out there more. And I'm very excited as well towards the end of the year, doing some events as well, which obviously I'll be inviting you to as well, Josh. I want to do very different type of events though. So I want to do that. And then, so that's just the fun part of it as a side thing. But the main thing is just more of the same. We're scaling the brand really big this year. We're launching as well some new ideas and new products later on in the year. We have some more patents being issued. I know they're boring things. I'm talking about boring. Like, these aren't exciting things to most people listening, but for me, these are the most important things in the world. My patents being issued, my trademarks being done, new products being delivered by the designers and engineers. The manufacturing optimization to get the factory pumping out 25,000 units a month. Like, these things are and then also another few things I will talk about that people will find interesting. We're going hardcore into content creation, but turning it, and we're putting all of this as systems on the vault, turning it into modular content creation with ads behind it. So for example, some friends of mine have been doing this, and we're going to take the concept and do it our way, which is always to a really, really high level. Content creation pivot tables. We're building a really advanced marketing dashboard with modular content creation, with name generators for all the ads. The name generators then have pivot tables inside the dashboard, so you can really isolate which actors are giving you the best results, which hooks are giving you the best results, which middle scenes, which problems, which solutions, which benefits. So we modularize the whole thing, generates a name, that name gets put in the ad, and then from there, as we get all the data from the ads, we can then start isolating this stuff and really start pushing the limits of, okay, this hook is doing well, goes back to the content team, they make 50 more like it, and we're really going hard on this content creation and the pivot tables and the data mining, and we're going really hard with this as well. So I'm very excited about that.
Oh man, that sounds incredible. When it's ready, can I take a look? That's super cool. Full disclosure, I am a partner in a creative agency, and we're planning to merge that agency into Chronos. So we're going to be one bigger unit with refined systems, refined foundations, and I know that's your jam, and with a much stronger specialized teams and units, great at what they do, but with a strong supporting system. But creative is one of those things that I think would be a major lever in the new year and beyond, and it's such an overlooked facet of e-commerce.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I don't understand. Not as much, I think. But not as much this year. But it used to be. It used to be. What's the latest hack on Facebook? What's the latest strategy? The wave method. The scale method with a K. That's what it used to be.
No, it's true. It's true. But I think it's mad because, again, it's just the industry we're in is a very immature industry. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just immature because it's new. Just like with anything, you grow up. Even as people, you're a child. Right? No, you're a newborn, and then you're a toddler, and then you're an adolescent, and then you're a young adult, and then you see what I mean? So we're kind of in the child / 0 to 5 year old phase, really, of what this industry is. So everyone is still focused on those things you just said. When that doesn't mean you can have all the best strategies in the world. If you don't have brilliant content, it dies. It dies. It doesn't matter. I would tell everybody listening to this, if you focus on ads, right, but you think content is not more primary than ads, you're a fool. You're a fool. If you could easily stop your ads, right? Hire an agency to do your ads and focus all of your energy on the content creation that you do, you will make probably 3 to 5 times more money in 6 months, because the content is what fuels. What's the most common denominator? And again, I don't even think it's good to focus on content or ads if you're the CEO. Hire great people to do that, right? And if you want to hire great people, come to us. We are brilliant at recruitment. We've got a little recruitment agency that we don't talk about a lot, but I know it's going to be something that in the future, only for the right people. We do not hire for everybody. We hire middle management and above for the right type of business. But again, just go to DigitalSuperSystems.com. We have the stuff there. But the point is this. If you can take the energy you put into ads and instead even do a test, give it to an agency, a good one, and you focus all your team and all your energy for 6 months on how well you can create content, you will, like I said, 3 to 5 extra results in that time. If you can do both, great. But like you said, Josh, content creation is so underserved. Oh, can anyone give me where I can find an agency to get influencers? Or can anyone show me where I can get some stuff, editors? You're not taking it seriously. So in my team, I say this to everybody, and I'll say this now. If you want to level up your content creation, there's 2 things you have to do. Number 1, content creation is about context. Slap that word on the board of your office, anywhere you look predominantly, write that down. Content creation is about context. And if you want to have your team become brilliant at creating content for your products, you need to teach them context. Don't tell them what to do. Teach them context. And I'll tell you what this means. In our team, I would say, this is true, we are a creative agency. We are a video production company. The only difference is we only have one client, us. That's it. Yeah. But we are brilliant at video. You've seen the output. We're brilliant at video. So what does this mean? This means that we love film. We love film. We study films like you can never imagine. We sit there for hours on end, me and the content team, just analyzing films, why we love this film, the antagonist, the protagonist, how to write scripts, how to make screenplays. We actually love the whole genre of film. We love it, right? And we study it deeply. Why? Because it gives us context. And then from that context, we can then apply that to making content specifically for each platform. Look, whether you're making 30-second TikToks, right, or 30-minute YouTube videos, the thing that never changes is you're doing it for people, and people resonate with storytelling. TikTok has just taken the storytelling into a shorter and shorter and shorter time frame, but it's still stories. The people that can make brilliant story are the ones that win the game. And nothing is harder to do than storytelling. And if you look at Hollywood, the last thing I'll say is this. Hollywood has the hardest product in the world to freaking sell. The hardest fucking product in the world, because they only have one thing, a story. There's no physical product. There's no software. It's just, you sit down for 2 hours and you pay to be told a story, right? Whether it's Netflix or the cinema, it's a story you're paying for. And if they get it wrong, they lose hundreds of millions and billions. When they get it right, they make hundreds of millions and billions. There's no industry in the world that is more on a razor's edge of success or failure than Hollywood. So if you want to know how to be brilliant at making content, study the people who put their cock on the block the people that have the most to lose, the most on the line. Study them and see how they do it and apply everything they do into your business specific to the platforms that you use. If you can focus on just take your content team and study film for the next 1 month, that will help them literally 1,000,000 times more than trying to find some online course on how to make TikTok videos more than anything. I promise you this. Context is the key.
I love that. Sam, this was incredible. I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation, and I hope to have a second one sometime down the line, maybe as an update later down in the year. For people listening, what's the best way to get in touch and in contact with you if you're interested in connecting?
Just go to my YouTube, I think. Just search Sam Olawale on YouTube. That's SAM Olawale, for those of you who don't know how to spell Nigerian names. But yeah, just go on YouTube, man, or go to, again, DigitalSuperSystems.com, DigitalSuperSystems.com to get all the stuff for the vault and the free access to the systems and stuff. And just enjoy the ride, man. I'm enjoying it, and there's going to be lots more to come from my side in the next couple of years. So hopefully I can add as much value to everybody as possible.
I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure people listening are too. Go to chronos.agency /podcast for the latest episodes and latest show notes. Thank you for joining us, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for listening to the E-commerce Profits Podcast. We'll see you again next time, and be sure to click subscribe to get notified of future episodes.